we would do a little something different and we would sit down and chat with each other about a specific subject that you guys have been asking me about. Maybe we can do these weekly about different topics or different parts of life, whatever, who knows, you know? This is my channel and I can just explore new types of content, right? So you let me know down below if you enjoyed this video, and if you're new here, I would love it if you would subscribe, join my family here on the tube. No pressure, of course. I'm just so thankful you're here. And yeah, if you want to hang out with me and talk about dating as a single mom, then just keep watching this video. And if you're curious, this is a Tejava tea? No. Tejava tea with a splash of heavy cream. All right, so this is probably one of the most frequent questions asked here on my channel, which, you know, totally makes sense. You know, I was a single mom for a while, and, you know, you guys wanted to know how I dated, how I met Chris, just the whole idea surrounding dating as a single mom. And also, I want to put a disclaimer here at the beginning of the video. This is just how I did it and how I would do it. And I wouldn't necessarily say how I would recommend you to do it. I just feel like there's value in knowing how other people do things. You know what I mean? So just take that with a grain of salt. If you feel like I am judging you in this video, I'm totally not judging you. It's just more of a situation of what I would do versus what I think you shouldn't do. And I feel like lots of girls, they don't think this way, and I think it would be nice if they heard the point of view and whys. Just keep that in mind as you're watching this. If I am describing you or a habit or something maybe you have done before, I'm not judging you at all. We are all human. We all do different things. So just keep that in mind while we are going through this video. So first things first, what type of single mom are you? Are you the type of mother that is like, you know, you have time to go out? When I was living in Florida, you know, my parents lived there. I had friends there. So if I technically wanted to go out on my own and go meet someone at a bar or something like that, I could. You know, I could, just because I had help. You know, my parents were wonderful. They helped me all the time. If my friends, if I would ask them, of course, they would do the same for me. But realistically, at my age and the type of person I was like wanting to manifest into my life was not at a bar. That's just not the type of person that I saw myself with. And granted, some people meet the love of their life at a bar, okay? You just never know. There's people like you, yourself, who are like, you know, I want to meet someone nice, but where do you meet someone nice when you're at home? You just don't, right? So just figure out, are you able to go out? Could you go out with your situation? And if you cannot, this is where my tips come into play. So that was my exact situation. I am, you know, stay-at-home mom. I do the YouTube thing, so I'm lucky enough, blessed enough that I can actually stay home with the kids full time and, you know, be with them. And I completely control my schedule. So with that being said, I was a complete homebody. You know, if I went and hung out with anyone, they came to my house or I went to their house, and I hung out with my parents so much. I wasn't with my friends, I was with my parents. You know, it was like one or the other. And again, my parents were so amazing that I would have girls' nights, you know, and we would go and eat and go home. It wasn't at my age. Again, I'm 31 years old. We weren't dancing on tables. I wasn't in my 20s like crushing it, you know, at the bars. We were just having, and a lot of my friends are also moms, so we would just have brain breaks and talk and just have conversation, be surrounded around other people. So that was not going to be the way that I was going to meet someone. Ding, ding, ding. That's when online dating comes in. So the apps that I used when I was dating are, so the very first one I ever used was Tinder, and that one, as a stay-at-home mom, like if you were really trying to find love, for me, just did not work out, because literally every person that I would just talk to on the app, I mean, and anyone can just talk to you on that, right? If you like match, it's just all about the sex, you know, and like, that's just not my style. That's not the type of woman I am. I was like, this is not what I'm about. Like, I just want to go to dinner with somebody that I mesh with, who I can have fun with, blah, 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 blah. So Tinder was just like the first one I dove into, and it was a lot. I was like, holy shit, I'm never going to find anyone. But then I found out about Bumble, okay? What I love about Bumble is about these dating apps in general. So if you are completely new to dating as a single mom, which I'm sure a ton of you are because I was in your shoes, can I just say this before I go on my spiel? So before meeting Chris online, I was so anti meeting anyone on social media, on an app. I just thought it was unnatural. It's just not me. I just want to meet someone organically, right? That's what I was saying. And actually my friend, she's like, how are you doing what you do, like social media person, and you're so against meeting someone online? And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right. Why am I being so negative about something that could be so positive in my life? So I completely shifted my thinking about dating apps. You know, I wasn't thinking they were negative, and I was just opening my mind and my heart, if you will, and I say heart loosely. And you know, I dove in, and my friend, she would date on these apps, and I just thought it was fascinating that she was in the living room dating literally with her fingertips. It's the most shallow thing you could ever do, but you know what? It's 2018. That is what life is about right now. That is how you meet people. And you know what? If you don't go anywhere, I absolutely recommend this. So that was me, super closed-minded about it, and I had to shift my thinking about it. And I feel like that's step one. If you want to actually meet someone, you have to just realize that this is the age that we're living in, and this is how you're gonna meet someone, especially if you never go anywhere. And that was me. I just lived in a small town, never went anywhere, and I just felt like there was no hope for me. So I downloaded the Bumble app, and I haven't experimented with a lot of apps. Those are actually the only two that I've used, and Bumble is by far my favorite. And the reason why is, so when you are browsing through people, right, on the Bumble app, and I don't have it anymore, else I would show it too, but I'm a married woman now. But yes, so you browse through people, literally you're like cataloging through people. So crazy to say out loud, but you literally are, and you can be your judgmental self in your own living room and just be like, oh, he's cute, has a nice smile, whatever. And like they'll write little bios about themselves, so you're meeting them essentially through your phone and learning about them, right? So if you're interested in them, you can swipe either right or left. And I'm just explaining this to those who have no idea about this, because I didn't until my friend showed it to me, right? And you literally swipe right or left, and the magic ticket, if the other person is attracted to you, then you match. And that is the key here, and then you can communicate with each other. With Bumble, the reason why I love that so much is because everything was in your control, right? So if you swiped right on accident, you're chickening out, maybe you learned some news about this person, or you read something that you didn't realize. You don't have to say anything. The conversation closes within 24 hours. It's like it never happened. But you also only have 24 hours to say something to that person. So that's what I love. You are in control. That is why I absolutely love this app. Maybe I can make a video on that, like how to start conversations, or not how to start conversations, or how I started conversations on the app. But what's funny is when I was doing it for the first time, you know, you swipe through a couple people, and then all of a sudden you're having these conversations with 3 different people, and you're like, oh my God, who am I right now? I would text my girlfriend saying like, oh my God, he replied. What should I say? What should this or what should that? And it's really fun. It gets fun, especially if you're like single and sad and you just feel like you're never gonna meet anybody, you don't have the time. Just try it. It won't hurt you, and just don't put all of your eggs in one basket. And what I mean by that is, like, don't hope and pray that Bumble is gonna find you the husband of your life. You know, granted, that was the situation for me, but I took it slow. So that is how I feel women who are stay-at-home moms, single, aren't going out is the best way, or my best way, not the best way in general, the best way that I, you know, was able to find someone. And now moving on into the aspect of how to do that, how to date with the children, right? You have your children, you've met this person. How do you go about that? Okay, and this is also another question that I get all the time, is dating with children, right? It's not just you, girl, you have children to think about. And I feel a huge mistake that women will make is that on the first date or second date or third date, they bring their kids into the picture. One thing that I will say, let's say you're dating someone and it's been like a month, okay? Like a month maybe let's say 2 weeks, okay? You've been dating this person for 2 weeks and you feel like you like this person so much, you can't do anything because you have your kids and you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna introduce my kids to them. That I feel is okay if you introduce him as just another human being, right? Children, people in general, meet other humans every single day. That's just a part of life. You meet people. Kids are constantly meeting random people. The difference is you're not holding his hand, your arm's not around him, you're not like being flirtatious with him, if you will, you know? Kids can read those vibes. And the reason why I say that is because who knows what will happen in a month, in 2 months, 3 months, you know what I'm saying? You just never know what will happen. And I just feel like physical intimacy in front of your children with another male constantly, let's say you dated Bob, you held his hand, second week dating him, your kids are like, oh, Bob, I like Bob. Especially when they're young and impressionable, they cling on to these relationships and it like affects the way that they grow up, right? Know that you or whoever I'm speaking to, you're not doing this on purpose. It's just passive, right? You don't think deeper about it, but you should. You absolutely should. I think it's extremely, underline extremely important to separate the relationships between your dating person and your children. If you want to bring them around your children early is the key word, then completely friend status. If you're gonna go out or something, you wanna go to a movies, make sure he brings another friend or something, or bring your best friend and then her kids. So it's not a focus on you and your person, right? No physical activity. They should not think that you and the guy that you're dating are together. Just in my opinion. And I'm not an expert by any means, so if you are an expert and I'm like saying all the wrong things, I completely apologize. I'm here for the kids, your kids, and I know for a fact that it's confusing as hell for them if you are constantly dating someone new and you're physically, not romantic, but affectionate with them. It really, really does confuse them. So that is one thing that I am just like, don't do. Do not be physically affectionate with your person that you're dating right away. Got that out of the way. Second, just take your time with it. Don't feel like your kids need to meet this guy that you're dating immediately. You know what I mean? You yourself need to know the person that you're dating before your kids do, right? If you feel like there are uncertainties about a person and like you don't know this fact about them or this fact about them, then you absolutely should not introduce like your whole world to him yet, right? And I think it should be said that when you first establish a relationship or whatever with the person that you're dating, that I have kids, but baby steps. I'm not trying to take them and like throw them in your lap. Here's my kids, they're yours now. You know, like we're not doing that vibe. And I know I'm diving really deep into that and we can go into another video, but that's just like basics with kids. Just take your time. There is no rush, girl. Me and you, guy, girl, let's get to know each other on a deeper level and then you can introduce them to your kids. You know, I would say after months of dating, then you would introduce your kids. And like, I know you're talking about me and Chris because it's like, oh, you guys weren't dating for that long before you introduced the kids. Actually, we were. It was more than 3 months before he had met the kids. I made sure that he knew where the line was drawn with that. And when I introduced Christopher to the kids, it wasn't like, oh, here's my boyfriend. Christopher is the man that I'm dating, blah, blah, we're holding hands. It wasn't like that at all. I had my best friend Jessica with me, her son and her daughter, and Christopher had his best friend with him and me and then the kids. So it was just like, oh, look, we're all hanging out, right? It was not shoved down their throat at all, and it was in complete baby steps, all on their terms. And who knows, right? You could also meet someone through mutual friends. Maybe you have a best friend that works somewhere and she knows single people. Like, don't be shy to ask. Be like, hey girl, do you know anybody that you work with that, you know, wants to go on a date? And that's fun for them. They're, you know, it could be like a fun blind date. It's someone's opinion that you trust, you know, your best friend. They work with them so they can talk to them, they have a relationship with them, and they set you up on a blind date. I would not be opposed to that. And let's say you do go on that date and it goes completely wrong, that's another experience under your belt, right? So you won't be so nervous for your next date that you go on. And also, when it comes to the dating app, and like let's say you have matched with several people and you want to go on these dates, absolutely go on the dates. Why not? Have some conversation. It's just another human being. Don't bring your kids with you though. Leave the kids at home. You can talk about them all you want, but please don't introduce your kids to people on the first date, especially when you're dating online. You know, like, just don't do that. But yeah, I feel like I don't want to make this video too long. That's 100% my recommendations. If you are a stay-at-home single mom with some children, I completely think that you should give online dating a try. And as far as what I would do with the kid situation, that's just my take on it. I don't feel you should be introducing them to the person that you're dating right away. I say just give it time. And I will link the links that I use down below. No, this video is not sponsored, girl. I just wanted to be upfront and transparent about how I did it, because honestly, I am like so many of you. I don't go anywhere, and I get so many messages constantly from women who are just like, oh, you give me hope. I truly feel like I will never meet anyone again. And honestly, and I want to look at you and tell you this, single mom who has been in a long marriage, has gone through hell, you feel like you're gonna be alone. Oh my gosh, I felt like I was gonna be alone for the rest of my life. I was so lost. I didn't know what I was gonna do. And I know you guys feel like this. I felt like a failure. My marriage was broken. Now I have these 2 wonderful kids, and you want everything for your kids, right? You want them to have this storybook family life where they have mommy and daddy, and then you just feel like you failed when it doesn't work out, right? So just give yourself some time, especially like if you just got through a divorce and you are like in it, and then you're like, oh, I need to date somebody to take off my mind. No, 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 no. Don't do that. It's going to make you feel worse. Just feel it. Like, just be in it. Feel the emotions. Everything happens for a reason, right? Do not rush into a relationship, but also know that you are going to be happy again. You are going to find your magical person. My point is, don't give up. Don't be negative. Open your heart up to the world. And I promise you, you will bring in the most amazing man or woman of your dreams into your life, and just have hope. Take your time. It doesn't have to be fast. And again, I know that you're thinking with me, oh my gosh, it was fast. I just have to say, when I was dating on the app, I made a serious, I was very straightforward about what I wanted. I was like, no game, no hookup. This is not what I'm here for. And when I found Chris and we started dating, I let him know first date that I was like, listen, if you're trying to get laid or any of the above, it's not gonna happen here. I was like, I have 2 kids. I genuinely want to fall in love. I said, I do want to find someone to be my partner, not necessarily get married right away, but I do want something serious eventually. And it doesn't have to be right now, but I just don't want to play any games. And I let him know my life goals in the beginning. Just be very forthcoming when it comes to what you want out of something. And I'm not saying be abrasive or anything like that, and we can do another video about that, but no, you just know what you want, let them know. And remember, if you're like 20 something, this will be different for you, but I was like 30, 31, like, listen, I feel like we're not playing games here. I think you guys get the point, but I'm sure I left something out. And if I did, please, please, please just ask me down below. I will try my hardest to get to all of your questions, whatever it may be. And remember, again, this is just my story, my situation. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to push anything down your throat. And again, mommy, you are going to find love. I promise you. Just be patient, be open, and the world will be yours. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you want to see more videos like this. I appreciate your time, and thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. Bye.